Yes.
All right, we're back in session. Welcome, Matt. We're going to start out. We'll give Commissioner John Crowther a moment here, and then kind of say the general ideas about what we want and expect in the budget this coming year. We didn't expect you to come with your budget ready and stuff,
Okay.
and just so you get our thoughts and ideas, and you can give us a general breakdown of your thoughts, a little bit about budget, and then we'll go into executive session and do the performance evaluation.
Sounds good.
John?
Okay, so the first thing and the main thing we discussed is keeping the budget flat. In other words, no increase in spending overall in budgets. And we do recognize that you probably have line items that you would have to find some increases in. What we want you to do is look and see are there other areas that you can cut so that we can have the money freed up to do that where it's necessary. We'd like everybody to take a look at their processes within their departments to look for efficiencies, look for grant funding that might be available. One of the areas we talked about was training. The Sheriff's Department, for example, does a very good job of having their own employees reach a level where they can conduct in-house training. So if that's something that might be possible in your department, where you're not having to go to outside training and bring in trainers and all that expense, this could be a way that there could be some cost savings identified. In addition, it would hopefully help develop employees' presentation skills, leadership, and so on. And then the final thing we talked about was succession planning. For every department head, we want to make sure that we have in place a plan that if something were to happen to the department head, somebody else could step in. The department doesn't just fall apart because the guy who's leading the department isn't there. And also look at every critical employee in the department in the same manner, whether it's by cross-training or however you might approach that.
Okay. Questions?
Not any questions about those things that Commissioner Crowther just brought up. So I think a lot of those we try to do currently, and it sounds like in the budget meetings we'll just need to be more clear on how we're doing that and how we're accomplishing it and where we are either refining it or improving it. So
Okay.
that's my understanding. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah. And then anything that you feel like you want to share right now?
Okay. Yeah, just a couple of things. In an effort to try to control budget, I do know that we are going to have one position that we are going to ask for reclassification at grade, but those expenses will actually be offset by savings in other positions as we've had new people come on board that are lower step in terms of their grade. So I think overall in our personnel budget, in terms of where we sit right now, not knowing what the commission will do as it relates to step increases or cost of living, but where we sit right now, we would actually expect a decrease in our personnel budget from where we are right now, just based on some of those savings, even with that reclassification that I'll be requesting. So I don't know if you would like to ask me any more questions from that personnel standpoint, but I do expect a reduction.
No, we're good there.
Okay. In terms of operating budget, we do utilize almost all of our operating budget out of the workshop trust. We did have some money in operating budget out of our county funds that we would have remain about the same. That's a grant position that we pay half of. Well, it's a position we share with the school district, so we pay half, they pay half. So that will remain about the same. In terms of our operating budget, obviously we're going to have the Safety and Assessment Center that we're looking on how we're going to meet their needs as it relates to office supplies, things like that. So as we've looked at the line items that we'll be having, we've tried to offset those so that there's not a significant increase even within that workshop trust for our general operating budget. So we do have a couple of things I can just bring up, if I can bring up briefly just to keep on the commission's radar. There are going to be potential janitorial needs for at least July, August, and September in that building. I know that's in this budget year, not the next budget year, but we may need to come back and see what the options are for that. There's also going to be a security and camera system that's going to be needed over there. We're looking at alternatives to utilizing, we're looking for funds in various other budgets and other possibilities, maybe whether it's ARPA or other grant adjustment savings, to see if we can pay for that. And then the possibility of a remodel of the offices over in the Juvenile Justice Center and our back offices. We're estimating $50,000 for that. I don't know if ARPA funds could be used for that for 2024. We do have reserve money in our workshop trust account that could fund that if ARPA funds weren't available. So it's a one-time money, but we could utilize those reserve funds in that workshop trust for 2024 if that's a possibility. So I'd say in terms of general budget, what I have budgeted out of the workshop trust, short of those three things, actually have a slight reduction in what I'm estimating from 2024 from where we were in 2023.
Very good. Comments?
No, Matt and I have talked 2 or 3 times, so.
Okay, let's go ahead and go into executive session.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we enter into executive session under Idaho Code 74-2061, frame A and B.
Commissioner Huff,
Yes.
Commissioner Moser,
Yes.
Commissioner Crowder.
Yes.